Hey guys, this is John.
And Austin.
This is another episode of the Meatgistics podcast. This is
Brought to you by Walton's.
Thank you, Patrick.
Brought to you by Walton's, as my mic was.
Should he be talking this early in the podcast?
Oh, geez. Hold on.
I'm here for it.
We'll just, hi, I'm John. Welcome to the Meatgistics. I'm sorry. I mean, let's do that again.
This first one, like we've actually sat down and done one in some time.
It's been a bit.
Yeah. We had the...
You were out of town. I've been busy.
Yep.
Lots of stuff has just been happening lately.
We did one where it was the live stream,
Mm-hmm.
like the first, 30 minutes? Or whatever.
Yeah, a little bit of that.
Yeah. So yeah, no, first one since before I went on my wildly successful fishing trip, which...
Did you get to talk about that?
Yeah, we talked about it on a live stream. But just quickly, I caught a 48-inch muskie, a 38.5-inch pike, and a 25.5-inch walleye all in the same morning. And we do biggest fish competition.
Oh, who's doing it?
You know who it is. Come on, Patrick.
Hey, it's not always
You
me.
know who it has been me exactly one time.
It's like
What we were talking about.
I think it was you last podcast.
It was... Right.
You know what the best part of
That's
this
what
is?
I'm talking.
It's just like it's interrupting like the best story you've personally had in like a year or two.
Best day I've had in
yeah.
definitely a year.
It was a beautiful morning, not a single piece of technology. Oh, sorry, that one's
I
me,
told
guys.
people before that if I ever get Neuralink, it's only because Patrick gets it, and I want to be able to just do that and like send him my thoughts.
He would still
Dude,
have
no.
to wink at me like a madman.
I don't know why I do that. I don't know. How I go,
Tink, tink.
hey,
Yeah, like you're secretly trying to
Yeah.
send me something, but people would know it exists, and you're like, "What did you just Neuralink that?"
nothing.
None of your concern.
Don't worry about it.
That would allow people to get in your head. That I
I
never
already live rent free
never,
in
never.
John's head. Okay, let's not.
Patrick is currently convinced that the only reason I carry a gun is to protect myself from him.
That was the funniest thing. I was just like, dude. John said he couldn't get sleep yesterday. I was like, because he's up all night thinking of like he can't kill me. I go, he only carries a gun to protect himself from me. He only works out every morning thinking of like, oh, I got to defeat Patrick today. And I was just like, it just felt good to just have power over him.
All right, so
I
that's
love it.
that's a good segue into something I want to talk about later, the working out thing. But
Fishing story.
okay, back to the fishing story.
Please.
So this trip I go on, I get to go with Travis Frank, who hosts The Flush and is a very famous muskie guide. I go with Bill Shirk. He's got Minnesota Bound and another TV show, and he's a famous fisher. So I'm like with all these incredible people. When we went last year, none of us caught a muskie, like nobody. And we were jokingly saying like we had to hide the guides' belts from them because they were taking it so personally. Like they just couldn't figure out why no one was catching a muskie. Nobody was doing anything wrong, blah, blah, blah. So we get there this year and we're like, we're doing it. So we were waking up at 4:30 every day. We're coming back, eating dinner, and then going back out. I was cutting sleeves off my shirt and other parts of my shirt as well. There's a post about that if anybody wants to know. But it's the last day that we're actually going to go fishing. We go out in the morning. It's me, this guy, Whitey, Ben from Onyx, and Travis. Throw it out there, like, I don't know, far. Like 4 reels and just thunk. It grabs it and just runs right down with it. And it was shallow, so I don't know how far down it ran, but I, set the hook. There's no chance of it coming out of its mouth. And so everyone's freaking out, and I'm trying to be calm, and then they got a video of it. You should hear my voice the first time I see it, because I heard Travis say, "Oh, it's a good one." He's like, "That's a good one." But I didn't know that, like, my last one was, I think, 34 inches. So I didn't know, is that like 42 inches or whatever? The first time it came up and I saw it and its head was, like, legitimately looked this wide.
Yeah.
I went, "Ooh, ooh," like, exactly like that. That was my noise. So anyways, get it in. We're all high-fiving, going crazy. And then we go fishing for the second half of the day. And my muskie didn't count towards largest fish, like the competition we do for largest fish, because it's not during like one of the normal fishing hours, right? It's like outside of that. So I'm fishing, and I'm catching a ton of fish. And I feel something just go whack. I was like, ooh, that's definitely a pike, because it's definitely not a walleye. Set the hook, and I'm like, oh no, I've got another awesome fish. So I'm reeling it, and Bill is like, just play it calm. He's like, you've got all the time in the world. So I get it up to the boat, and it's this huge 38.5-inch pike, which is that's the second biggest fish I've ever caught. Right, so I caught my 2 biggest fish in the same morning. Then I caught the largest walleye, which we also compete about for that. So we get back to the thing at the end of the day, and we do this thing like you raise your hand, who's got a 24-inch, who's got a blah, blah, blah. So I put my hand down at 24.5. One of the guys I was fishing it goes, "Hey, idiot, it was 25.5, not 24.5." I was like, "Oh, whoops, my bad." I'm like, I had forgotten, like I was shorting myself on the walleye. But yeah, then I drove back 19.5 hours and basically drove myself insane and have destroyed my sleep cycle. So we're trying to get that back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was full on slapping myself in the face at 1:30 in the morning in Kansas, in between Kansas City and Wichita. Like just full slaps. Like not like, all right, come on, wake up. I was even trying to surprise myself with it. I was like, not yet.
Oh, man.
So
Have you ever seen like the slap competitions?
No. Oh, that's no. Like, are you saying I should do one?
No, just have you seen it?
Yes.
Like
that is super dangerous. People are gonna get like bad CTE.
Oh
from
yeah,
that.
guaranteed.
Oh,
My favorite part is John just lied to you. He's like, "You ever see those slap?" No.
no. What I meant by no is I thought he was saying I should go do one.
I know what you meant.
Oh, okay.
Just don't lie to my buddy like that again, please.
All right, let's try some. I've got tomato basil, and I've got jambalaya, but just pork. It does not have any of the extras in
The
it.
fun stuff: shrimp, rice, ham.
The good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so you tried tomato basil first.
Tomato basil.
So again, just pork butts, and we ground up like 50 pounds of meat so that we could use every piece of Walton's branded equipment yesterday, so we could get like standardized B-roll for it. And then I had to do something with it. Stephanie walked in and was going to look through the freezer and like, I need something for party on the patio Friday. I was like, we'll use this.
Nice.
So this is all the party on the patio stuff. What do you think of tomato basil?
It's good.
Salsa, not tomato basil. My bad.
Okay.
That's salsa brown.
That makes sense because I get the tomato. The tomato's strong. I'm trying to pick out the basil, but for salsa, yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
The tomato. It's not like it's like super strong. It's not overwhelming, but that's the first thing that hits is like, okay, yeah, I'm eating tomato. That would be really good now to put on a bun and get like your favorite salsa to go with
Sure.
it instead of ketchup and mustard.
Now I'm going to say something very controversial.
You don't like it.
Very brave. No, I do. I like it quite a bit. I think I like sausage more without cheese now than with cheese.
Oh, it's just you're just no. Are you just trying to get me riled up? Or are you being serious?
No, I'm being serious.
Okay, are we ending our friendship right now? Like,
I don't know what to say. I've had that with and without cheese. It's better without cheese. I've had andouille with and without cheese. It's better without cheese. I've had I'm trying to think. Jalapeno popper is better with cheese
for sure.
But I can't think of any other one. A Philly and Supreme Pizza. Those three are better with cheese. I think everything else is better without it.
I'm taking my bathroom break on this one.
He's leaving.
I'm going.
We've scared Patrick or annoyed Patrick to the point where he's just not going to deal with this anymore.
I don't know. Like, I can get where you'd say like, oh, it's really good without cheese, and like here's why. But to say just flat out say it's better, it's hard because it.
Like I said, it's controversial. That's brave of me too.
It is mild enough of a flavor. If you put cheese in that, it's going to overwhelm a lot of the flavor. So it's going to be very different. If you really want it both stand out, I might use a little extra seasoning, or dare I say it, go light on the cheese. But I could say a little extra seasoning, light on cheese, still outweighs the no cheese at all.
Okay. I'm going to disagree. All right, try the jambalaya with no. Usually we put shrimp, ham, chicken, rice, maybe something else that I can't think of off the top of my head. This is literally just a pork butt. We looked through the ingredient statement on this earlier, trying to identify like a specific taste that's in that, and can't, because it doesn't like list out everything, obviously, or people would just recreate it.
It's interesting because it's still, it has normal, what I'd call jambalaya flavor. Still has that Cajun-y southern spice to it. Still to me, it tastes shrimpy.
That's what I thought.
It still has that flavor to it,
Yes.
but it does not have your jambalaya texture.
Right.
It's just your normal brat texture. So it's weird in the mind. I'm like, I want that little texture to be there, and it's not. But it's all the same and right flavors are there.
So the effort difference between this and like the full jambalaya is pretty dramatic, right? I thought I was going to dislike this a lot more than not dislike, but I thought it was going to be a much bigger step down from full bells and whistles to this. It's definitely a step down. It's a couple steps down. But are those couple steps worth the effort that it takes to make it?
My personal opinion, absolutely not. Not worth it at all to spend the extra time to make the jambalaya. I'm also, one of the reasons I haven't been on podcast for a few weeks is I'm very short on time right now. So like everything in my mind is how quick can we get this done?
Right.
So I'm convenience at the moment. Ask me a year from now, and I might go, it's worth taking that extra time.
I wonder if we just added rice to it, like what the difference would be there.
It wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah. But yeah, no, as far as flavor goes, I think it's really good. I don't know why it has a shrimpy flavor, but it does. Like, it's got to be something in the seasoning, obviously. But yeah, pretty darn good. Natural casings in the smoker on just like the Bratfest schedule, it dries out the casings too much. So, yeah. Anyways. All right, moving on. I want to do a quick update just on a previous story we covered, the listeria. They have now they traced it to a deli meat. And now 40 people have been seriously hospitalized over it, and now 3 have died. So that's an extra person that's died. So be careful with where you're getting your deli meat from at the moment, unless you're in perfect health, and then you probably won't even notice listeria. I mean, that is, most people who have listeria never know they have it. Right? It's just like, oh, my stomach's a little upset.
Yeah, mild case of what most people would just call food poisoning or just upset stomach.
Upset stomach is probably closer to it. All right, now let's talk about, Patrick was saying working out in the morning. I don't work out in the mornings anymore. I've been working out when I get home from work. It's just easier, and I don't have to wake up at 4 a.m. So I've been doing that instead. But we've really kind of, you and I have kind of switched places on this whole health thing. It used to be I would talk about a bunch of stuff, and you'd just be like, well, I don't know. Calories
in, calories out, whatever.
Yeah. Now you're giving me all this advice on what supplements I should be taking. So it's just an interesting flip. I know you've done it previously a little bit, but can you talk about what are some supplements that you're taking every day? Because Austin, you look better. I know you're under a lot of stress right now, but you seem more lively. It seems like whatever you're doing is working.
Yeah. I probably take too many supplements, and I've changed a lot. Been trying to just figure out what does my body need, because everybody's different, and depending upon what you eat elsewise, that's going to change. When I was eating different, I took different supplements. I'm eating different than I was 6 months ago, and so now I'm doing totally different supplements from here. But daily things, B vitamins for sure, specifically methylated B vitamins, depending on the person. Some people can handle certain types of B vitamins, some people can't. I'm one of the ones that can kind of handle and kind of can't. So,
what do you mean by I've taken too much B12 before, and we actually have an article on that and it makes me jumpy, and I do not feel good if I take too much B12.
You probably cannot methylate the B vitamins on your own. So when you take too much, your body doesn't know what to do with it, and it can't really process it. Or maybe you're just you can only partially. I can kind of do some, but not all. So if you take a methylated B vitamin, your body can actually use it. And at that point, technically you could overdose on anything. You drink too much Mountain Dew and it'll kill you.
Sure.
Drink too much water, it'll kill you.
Absolutely.
But in theory, you shouldn't be able to take too much if you're following any type of standards.
Okay, so some B12. Figure out if you need the methylated version or not. What else?
Man, you make me think what's
Where you take
in my
any
closet.
vitamin D?
Vitamin D.
Yep.
Yeah. Going through magnesium, but it depends on
Don't take
when
the
and what
citrate
type. Magnesium. Yeah, magnesium is great for a lot of different things, but you got to make sure you're taking the right one because you take citrate and that's going to make you crap your pants.
Yes.
To put it in the most pleasant way possible.
Which was my experience with it, which is why every time someone tries to tell me take magnesium to go to sleep, I'm like, no, thank you.
Some people will use spray or lotion magnesium to help them sleep. You can do some magnesium is just kind of a more general all around. Some is specifically for like more mental clarity type of things. So like that's what I'm taking. That's what I gave you the other day. Is like it mental clarity, calmness. Like it just.
I wouldn't
I
say
don't
it
know.
made me feel calm. It definitely didn't make me sleepy. I think it almost made me like, I don't know, maybe that's a mild feeling of what people have when they take Xanax.
It's
Like,
relaxing.
I almost felt disconnected. Like there's a while there I was just like, I don't know if I know how to react to things.
Have you ever taken Xanax?
Don't know how to react.
What's that?
Have you ever taken Xanax, or should I not ask you that question?
I think I took Xanax once when I was like in my 20s. I fell asleep.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think it's like Xanax.
Okay.
Personal history there.
Okay. Right, but like for you, it's not. But when I say disconnected, is that the right? Like I didn't know.
Like it's
Like
just
things were happening. I was like,
maybe
You
on
didn't care. You didn't feel one way or the other.
right.
yeah, maybe on the lowest, subtlest level. It's just Xanax is a
Okay, yeah.
whole nother level.
Sure.
Like yes, I could say maybe similar there, but like hard to relate because making something like or relaxing a bit with some magnesium totally different than popping a Xanax pill to I don't even know how to describe it, like really chill out.
Okay.
But I don't know. What else?
The L-threonine.
L-theanine.
Theanine.
So the magnesium is threonate.
Okay.
And then the other thing, if you want to chill out, L-theanine.
Yeah. So those are
I take a lot of that for
those
stress.
are in the ollies. The gummies. And I've taken those the last 2 nights. Last night I ended up taking 2, which is probably too much. I was real foggy this morning. But I've got like 6 hours of sleep back to back, which sounds like not much, but for me over the last 3 weeks is amazing. I've been surviving off some nights an hour and a half of sleep. Like
Oh, that's
So what
not
do you
good.
do? How long do you lay there before you're like, this isn't happening?
I didn't at any. I don't know how to describe it. Like I'm not in that panic state when I'm laying down. Like I'm not getting mad that I can't sleep. I'm relaxed. Like I'm like, this is better than getting up and doing things, right? I'm not getting to that mad state. I just couldn't kick into sleep.
You're very aware.
And if
of
I
your,
did,
yeah.
something would happen. I'd wake up and then it was done. Like I'm not getting back to sleep after that.
I wonder if your body's just kind of stuck in like and I forget which one's which. You got parasympathetic and sympathetic. If you're stuck in, pick one, sympathetic state, and
Sure.
you're more fight or flight. You could be relaxed, but still like not, because I've fought with that and sleep issues over the years. I've actually in the past 2 weeks, I have gotten 4 nights of the best sleep that I've ever had in my life.
Nice.
Partly because I think I am putting better things in my body, and so my body's able to chill out. But some of it is just I'm just so freaking exhausted that I go to bed and my body is doing. It's just like, yeah, we're done. We can stay in this state and not do something else. Let's do it. But
Well, that's good that your body's allowing you to do that. So
if
all the
you-
hard work's paying off.
if you get kind of in that fight or flight kind of scenario, you can your sleep will be totally screwed. That's my experience. Don't know if that's exactly what you're going through,
Could
but
be.
that's at least when I've had big sleep issues like that.
I went to the doctor yesterday, and my liver enzymes are better than last time. And they were already, it went from, he's like, slightly elevated. We talked about this. I don't know if anyone remembers it. I went to him the first time. He's like, your liver enzymes are slightly elevated. So I went back again, like 3 months later. He's like, okay, good. Your liver enzymes are good. I was like, well, you seem very relieved. I'm like, you just said they were slightly elevated. He's like, oh no, I did not like where your liver enzymes. I'm like, why didn't you tell me that? Then I'm like, probably drank more. But he makes me laugh because he said my liver enzymes are fine, and then we were talking about my testosterone, which is now on like the lower range of normal, and I want TRT, right? So I want to be on TRT. So I was like, okay, what can I do to just like naturally? My sleep schedule sucks. I know I need to improve that. I'm like, I've got 15 to 20 pounds to lose. And he's like, if you could do those two things, I bet you'd be fine. So I was like, all right. So
You guys are just like, praying for you.
my beer,
Fingers crossed.
like, should I stop drinking beer? And he's like, your body doesn't really process beer like that. I'm like, I love you. You're telling me my liver enzymes are fine and that I can continue to drink beer and lose weight. Like, you are the best doctor anywhere around.
You can lose weight doing anything because I'm losing weight now and I'm doing it totally different than I've done it in the past. I've done it in the past where I still ate and drank whatever I wanted.
Right.
And I just
Ran like a freak.
ran a lot or worked out a lot to combat the beer and just minimized. I'd eat what I want, but just minimized the amount you're
Smaller
eating.
portions.
Right now, I'm eating as much as I want and just eating specific things.
Did you wear that color shirt to mock me?
No, but I could change anything to do it just to mock you.
I
if
thought
it-
I was
it
going
makes
to
you feel
be
better.
the face of male breast cancer awareness,
No,
and I'm not. That's pink.
it's not pink. It's like it's a cross between orange and salmon.
I'm colorblind then.
You are.
I am definitely colorblind. If that is not pink, I don't know what colors are.
Then your shirt's turquoise.
No, it's like darkish green. Like,
Yeah, but is it?
darkish.
It's like a
Punto
faded
green,
out
maybe?
green,
Yeah.
so it's not dark green.
So it's something.
It's not light green.
Right.
So what is it?
I don't know, but apparently I'm not capable of figuring out what pink is.
I think the colors they put on these shirts are just like they're meant to be not a standard, like truly identifiable color.
Yeah.
That's what helps make them stand out and be different.
They're different than our previous shirts, but they're comfortable.
I like
I
it.
like these.
The only thing I
Yeah, I
don't
know you
like
don't
is
like the collar.
the collar. It's already stretched out from what I put on this morning. This morning I could barely get it over my head. I have a somewhat big head, but once it's on, then it loosens up.
fine.
Allie said that these were pre-shrunk.
Mine didn't shrink.
This is only the second time I've washed it.
Yeah.
I washed it. I thought it was ready this morning. I had to do I did a speed wash and a speed dry.
geez,
Never
okay.
used those settings before on the
Okay.
washer dryer, but I got done with load of laundry real fast because I literally didn't have clothes to wear, and I was like, podcast day, I'm gonna wear a new shirt, and it was in the dirty laundry. But when I got it out, put it on fresh out of the dryer, I was like, oh no. I was like, I'm losing weight, but this is tight. This is tight. Don't know if we're gonna do this.
For anyone just listening, Allie has designed a new T-shirt that should be available to order on Walton's at some point in the near future. It will be not something we stock, but something you order, and then it gets printed and then sent to you. So
You've got like slightly different Meatgistics style logo because the last shirts, did we still have the white background on it?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So these are basically just orange, and then from animal to edible, and then underneath it you got like a steer and a steak.
Yep.
It looks really cool. I've only worn the shirt like 2-3 times now,
Yeah.
and I have gotten compliments from people like
Nice.
multiple times wearing it. I think the logo with the pictorial stuff on it is going to be a big hit.
Yeah. I think we need a W on the sleeve or something, but that's neither here nor there. All right. So 7 verse 18. Do you have any idea what I mean by 7?
That's
verse 18?
that's an odd time signature
It-
for
it-
a song.
I knew as soon as he said that, he was thinking like Tool or something.
Some made up stat you have about K-State versus Notre Dame.
Yeah, we're ranked number 7. You're ranked number 18.
Yeah. It's a preseason poll. All that matters is where you are at the end of the year.
Correct. Do we have an agreed upon bet yet?
Oh, no. We can we agree that we are betting something?
Sure, 100%.
Okay.
Didn't we come up with something like a week ago?
Yeah, but I think the one that we came up with is the other one has to sing the fight song of the other person.
Oh.
Like I would have. Does K State even have a fight song?
Oh yeah.
Does anyone know what?
They
Yeah.
just meow a lot. They take their whiskers and they rub them on the
I can't purr. I tried to purr there.
Was that your purpose?
That was my attempt. I don't know
wasn't
how
the
to do it.
worst.
I wouldn't be opposed to that.
But
Oh wait, no, it was like dressing
yeah,
as
full
the
regalia.
mascot,
Like you have to dress up as the
leprechaun.
leprechaun.
No, because that's a reward to dress up as Willie the Wildcat.
What do you mean? Not to him? No, we're gonna like
Right.
full on
Like if
purple.
I
no.
lose, I have to dress up as your
Yeah,
mascot.
that should be a reward for you. The Willie the Wildcat mascot. Have you ever seen the dude?
He's
Is
so delusional.
It's a guy in a football uniform
Guess
with
what?
a mascot head who's ripped.
Guess what? We don't have a mascot head, so we'll put whiskers on John, and we'll put cat ears on him, and he has to go "Rah!" in a purple jersey. So he won't like it. It's a punishment. And then if you lose, you have to dress up as a leprechaun. So obviously, green tux.
No. I'm making him dress up as Leprechaun from the movie Leprechaun.
Oh, okay.
That's the
No,
Leprechaun.
no, no, no.
He's gonna dress
You
up.
have to try to mimic the mascot.
Yeah, Warwick
Well,
Davis.
it doesn't
is
sound like
perfect.
he's gonna make me mimic the mascot.
No,
It sounds like
you
he's gonna
are.
try to
What?
insult me.
We're gonna.
That's what the. Oh my god.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
inventing this or something.
I get it. I didn't think he was getting it.
Oh no, for sure. Yeah.
Like we're gonna make it an insulting leprechaun.
No, I mean any kind of just wear the sideburns, and then you wear some green stuff. You can go green bead in a hat. That's it. And then you go top of the morning, do you?
Yeah, I'll come up with your outfit.
I'm having flashbacks to a Halloween party of yours from 8 years ago,
Yep.
where you were, I think, technically an Oompa Loompa.
I was an Oompa Loompa.
But I'm just going that leprechaun. That's
That wouldn't be that's a
close enough
it's
in my
in the
book.
it's in the range. It's in the range. All right, so are we agreed?
Is that what we want to
I
do?
think so. And then
So-
we get a video of the other person. It gets posted to whatever social media, and then that other person can do whatever they want with the video.
So,
I'll make it my ringtone for you.
okay, I think I'm good with that. The catch will be, how are we deciding who actually wins?
That's a good point.
Because is it who's the highest in the last CFP poll,
What if we both make the
But the
playoffs?
playoff now.
Right.
So is it who gets further? But what if we don't play each other? Then it's like, well, can you go with who's further, or is it? I don't know, because then we get kind of touchy on what qualifies as.
Well, let's talk
win.
it out. You're 7
Yeah.
and 18 right now. So 7, that kind of strong arms the Notre Dame fans, because then it's like, well, we only can move up 6 or 7 spots potentially, right? Where it's
Right.
like 8 from 18, you can jump a bunch of different spots. So you can't do spots removed,
Right.
right? So that's out. Do you just do overall finished record, or do you just do, like you said,
No, because we have a tougher record than you do. so.
or schedule? You mean?
You have to go who wins and losses, and then who lost or won by more lost by more. If we both get eliminated in the same week of the college football playoffs, it has to come to a score differential.
Yeah,
I know. I say there's nothing that's going to be perfect
I don't-
unless we just
but
go with.
But then
the
you're going
final-
off to just which team you'd luckily got into.
Okay.
I'd say if you lost at the same time, you go back to who was
So
ranked
then
higher.
the only fair or
Then
only
you're
way to
trusting
do
the
it is
freaking voters.
I
And
know.
I don't
Well,
trust them.
Okay. More likely scenario to happen is like one team's like a 10-win team, the other team's like a 8 or 9-win team, right? And then that's obvious that, like, would you agree the 10-win team wins versus the 8 and 9-win team?
Yes.
Okay. What about you, Austin? Do you agree to that? Or would you say that because strength of schedule and conference matters a lot, that a game or two would be too big of a gap?
I don't know. I think we're gonna have to. I think we can agree on the bet, and we just need to work out the
Okay.
the,
All right, we'll do
the
that offline.
tiebreaker
Yeah.
details.
Because nominally, this is a podcast about meat processing.
And I don't think we ate
40
some
minutes
meat.
in and we ate some meat is all we did. All right, let's get on to meat
What are you
matters.
talking about? Kansas State is the agricultural place to be.
What's the biggest ag school in the is it? It's not Kansas State. There's bigger ag schools.
Oh, absolutely.
Nebraska?
K-State's not like that big a school. There's only like 15,000.
Right, I didn't mean big like that. Whatever. Don't worry about it.
Oklahoma State, K-State, Butler, and Langston University in Oklahoma.
Okay. Nanoparticles offer new hope for treating red meat allergies linked to tick bites. This is from news-medical.net. Nanoparticles delivered intravenously in mice can block the allergic reactions to red meat caused by the bite of the Lone Star tick. New research led by the University of Michigan shows the condition called alpha-gal syndrome is on the rise in humans as climate change and other factors have led the ticks to expand their habitat. Developed at the U of M, The nanoparticles contain allergens that retrain the immune system to ignore the type of sugar found in beef, pork, lamb, and other mammals. Once the nanoparticles were delivered to test subjects, University of Virginia research collaborators exposed those mice to ticks to trigger an immune response to alpha-gal sugars. In 10 out of the 12 mice, a reduced immune response was recorded. That's pretty excellent news. However, you are not injecting nanoparticles into me.
Nope.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
I'll probably deal with a little red meat allergy for a while.
Yep.
Then deal with that.
Yep, absolutely. Or buy the pork that is grown for human heart transplants, and then you don't have, like, it doesn't have the same issue. But yeah, there is no way I'm allowing anyone to inject nanoparticles into me. Also, to make it clear, I'm 100% joking where I say I would get Neuralink if Patrick does. There's no way I'm ever letting anyone put something inside of my brain.
I was gonna say I don't ever see you doing that.
I do also think that it's such a weird place in there that it would, if it didn't break Neuralink, it would like make them wall me off. It'd be like, no, you're infecting the rest of everybody. Like, you can't have this. All right. Investigating the effects of beef consumption on the brain health. So the Nebraska Beef Council is committed to advancing our understanding of the nutritional impact of beef. To that end, a new study led by a team of scientists at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, including a list of a bunch of doctors, is investigating the potential link between beef consumption and brain health. The Department of Animal Science and the Lawful Meat Lab will be collaborating on the project, providing beef to study participants. Beef's cornerstone of the American diet, blah, blah, blah. Basically, they're going to take 200 college kids and they're going to control what they eat for a 12-week period and assess their brain health at the end of that. I've reached out to one of the doctors listed in the study, asking them if they want to appear on the podcast. I haven't heard back yet.
That would be sweet if they
That
do.
would be very interesting.
I can almost guarantee that unless they do something crazy to mess with the results, the people who eat more meat are going to be better off. Like, it just, yeah. And I don't know, unless you get really lucky and you get people that just don't perform off that. But I'd say more often than not, people are going to perform better on a high protein, high beef diet. But
yeah, I don't really have any expectations going into this study, but that is kind of what I think natural science would tell us, right? I mean, you can absolutely get your proteins from plants. It's just a lot harder to make it bioavailable. Like, okay, you check the box that you ate 25 grams of protein, but how much of that did your body actually use? Like a third? Same thing with iron. Like, have you ever heard spinach has more iron in it than beef?
yeah, but
Yeah, good luck keep eating all the spinach you want. You're still going to be anemic if you don't get your iron from some other source. So, but really interesting. We'll keep an eye on that, and hopefully we might have one of the doctors or probably just a representative on. U.S. beef export value rebounds in June. Pork posts strong first half. So it says beef exports totaled 110,155 metric tons in June, down 4% from a year ago, but the second largest of 2024. So while it's down year over year, it's a large uptick in this year. Export value reached $938 million. That's our economy is so huge. It's just insane. That's a month in one protein's export.
wait, that was 1 month?
That's 1 month.
Oh, wow.
That's absolutely crazy. But exports trended higher to Japan and were the third largest on record to Taiwan, while shipments to Canada were the largest in nearly a decade. June exports to South Korea were below last year, but rebounded compared to May. Through the first half of the year, beef export value climbed 5% from a year ago to $5.22 billion, despite a 4% decline in volume. So more money, less product going over.
Sometimes I think my brain just puts itself in a bubble and is like, this is the world we live in. And then it's like No, pop that bubble.
This.
Look how big the world is.
Yup.
There's a lot going on out
Oh
there.
my God,
It's
it's
wild.
absolutely insane. If you looked at just our economy as an organism, the complexity of it is
How
mind-boggling.
how it continues to sustain itself and not collapse is wild.
You guys should see our cardiovascular systems. It's nuts. Inside of us humans. No, I'm sorry. You're fascinated with stuff outside. So,
Does that include like veins and arteries and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Supposedly, I don't know if his old wife's still or not, but like you took all your veins and arteries, you wrap them around the world like 3 times.
I believe that is true, but I don't know. Have you ever seen the Body Works, the exhibit, where they took the Chinese prisoners and
No.
like injected? I don't know what it exactly is called, but it's basically something that turns all of your arteries to like hard plastic.
Ooh.
Yeah. So they then like you can see the circulatory system. They had the exhibit up in Kansas City. I mean, they're like cadavers. Like these people used to be people that were alive.
Wait, did they do it to people already dead, or did they like?
Have to be alive when you do it.
Oh, that's not cool.
Oh. But it is wildly fascinating. Like it is insane, and they like have them posed in interesting ways. And I think one they even like took all the major veins out of the back and like made wings out of them.
No.
It's crazy. I think it's called Body Works. It might not be Body Work. It might just be called The Body.
if your entire network of blood vessels were stretched end to end, they could circle the Earth multiple times. So,
At least twice. At least twice.
at least twice.
Cull cows and beef production. This is from Beef Magazine. It says, according to the USDA July livestock slaughter report, cattle slaughter totaled 2.4 million head in June, 12% decrease year over year, and a 7% decrease since last month. Total cattle slaughter for the first 6 months of 2024 is 4% below the total for the first 6 months of 2023. Beef cow slaughter for the first half of the year is 50% lower than 2023 and has declined almost 20% since January. As a result of a decrease in cow slaughter due to limited cattle supplies, beef production is consequently expected to decrease in 2024 and by even more in 2025. Now, here's the however. Forecasts for beef production in 2024 have increased by 555 million pounds since January due to an increase in number of days on feed and carcass weights of fed cattle. So this is more of the slaughtering less, but getting similar final yields. Or like, when I say final yields, like all of the beef supply, because we've gotten so much better at yield. If you look at the number of cattle slaughtered in the 70s versus now, and just looked at that number alone, you'd be like, well, America doesn't eat beef anymore. We still do. It's just we're getting so much more off of those beef.
Yeah.
So while that kind of, you could look at that, that's both ways. Some of it's good, some of it's bad. Okay. Ammunition vending machines come to Southern grocery stores.
That's amazing.
Is that not awesome?
I love it.
I need to find one and go to it just to use it so I can feel like peak Americanism. Like I'm going to use my credit card in a grocery store at a vending machine to get some.
How are they verifying ID? It says on the picture like they verify ID, but like are they like scanning your driver's license and then like facial recognition to you standing there?
Gotta be.
Maybe
It's got to be.
'Cause
That doesn't seem so.
it'd be
hard.
way too easy to have just someone just
Hack it.
steal a driver's license and
Yeah. Do you remember like 2 years ago when everyone's freaking out about the skimmers on the gas things? Imagine getting a skimmer on that. You get all that information.
that'd be fun.
But adults in some U.S. states can now buy gun ammunition out of AI-powered vending machines right at their local grocery store. The company that makes them argues it's a safer way to sell ammo than online or off the shelf. But experts have raised concerns about it increasing its availability in a country where gun violence is already widespread. I wouldn't call gun violence widespread, but it's NPR, so we'll let them have their thoughts, and we'll have ours. But yeah, no, it's just awesome. I think that's really cool. All right, last one. July meat sales surged. You don't even need to go into it. Surged 7.3% amid holiday spending. Consumers apparently spent big on grilling in July, as total meat sales jumped 7.3% to $8.1 billion compared with July 2023, according to the latest monthly category reports from 210 Analytics and Circana. So $8.1 billion on meats in a month.
I don't know that these numbers all actually match up on how much production is dropping, but prices are going up. But it says inflation's only 2.3%. The math does not math.
Well,
so
all right. So inflation is 2.3% over whatever period they're going. Go back 5 years, and inflation's over 20%. Like, yes, if you're just tracking it month over month over month, it looks like it's slowing, or it is slowing. But if you look at it over the past 5 years, it's insane.
yeah.
We should all be buying more guns and ammo. Okay. Moving on to wild card. 2 polar bears kill worker at remote radar site in the Canadian Arctic. That's twice now.
That one was subtle. Doesn't count.
So a pair of polar bears attacked and killed a worker at a remote government radar site in the Canadian Arctic. The attack took place Thursday at the outpost of Brevoort Island in Canada's far northeastern Nunavut territory, said some corporation that I am not going to read. These are all nonsense words. Canada,
I want you to repeat the
nonsense
whole
country.
sentence.
Nonsense. An attack by 2 polar bears has resulted in the loss of one of our valued employees. They responded on the scene, and one of the animals was put down. So you've got a polar bear out there now who has the taste for human blood. And I can't imagine, it's a polar bear. How hard can it be to find a red-covered polar bear in an area? It's probably very snowy up there, too. So just look for the red, find the other one, and kill that, because you do not want to be hunted by a polar bear who knows that people are meat.
I would assume that they're halfway protected, and that's maybe why they didn't put the other one down? Or could they just not? Yeah, could they really not find it?
It had to be
I don't
that
know.
They couldn't find it.
Crazy.
Like, generally, if an animal kills a human, that animal is put down. I can't think of any, like, the reason they don't just kill sharks when somebody gets eaten is because they're not sure which shark it is, right? Because they can hide under the water.
We're not sure, so you get a live.
stupid as I was saying it.
They're hiding.
As I said it.
Oh
like,
man, they're
this is
looking
dumb.
for me out
Like,
there.
this is a dumb thing to say.
They could see the red and blues coming for me, man.
Oh, God.
It was this dude. I'm just a basking shark. I swear to God, I had nothing to do with it.
Just a dolphin, ma'am. You guys don't get that reference because I'm old. But yeah, so terrible way to go, being hunted by and killed by 2 polar bears, not just one.
Oh man,
2.
yeah, that would just anything like that is going to eat you. Not good.
And with a bunch of other animals, like, I think most of the time, like if you get attacked by a grizzly, most of the time, it's usually not like a predation. It might eat you in the end, but it's not actually being like, ooh, you're food, unless it's starving. Then it is. Great whites, if I'm being completely honest and taking off my whatever hat, most of the time they're just like, what are you? And get that, see what it is. And then they're like, eh. But sometimes they consume everything. With a polar bear, all they eat is meat, and they live out in the middle of nowhere. Like, they're trying to eat you.
They see you, you are now prey.
Absolutely. All right, new article. Mom fights back in grizzly bear attack. I'm not ready to leave my daughter, she says.
Do you have your cell phone with you, by the way, right now?
Why?
I sent you something that I want you to react to when you're potentially done with that, but it's pretty good.
I didn't want to admit to it because he's told me to take my cell phone
You
out of my
felt the
pocket
text
before. I was like,
It was like 10 minutes ago.
no.
Oh, you didn't want to
I didn't want to admit to it. Okay, hold on.
rat yourself out.
Here, watch this.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll put the video on there.
So this idiot that's a grizzly. He is out. Oh, you got exactly what you deserved, sir.
Yeah.
He's feeding a grizzly bear outside of a car,
He's
like he's
throwing,
a
like,
puppy, and then he
chips to it
yeah,
or
like little
something.
Chex Mix, and then the grizzly without does a no look charge, just goes like, and he's from me to the guys right now, and just no looks at him, and it's the best 10 seconds on video I think of recent memory.
It looks like that guy's fine though.
Survival
I'm
of the
sure.
fittest is a legitimate thing.
Oh, 100%.
So please continue with your grizzly encounter story.
He throws pork rinds to it, and it smells it.
Honestly,
I
yeah, it
don't
looks
think
like
it
pork
eats it,
rinds.
and then it goes for him.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I wonder what he did. Like, did he move? Did he not move?
Oh,
Did he give him his back?
I think.
Gets put in a rear naked. It's over, dude.
Okay, so
What if he gets him in an omoplata?
all right, Joe Rogan.
Come on, look at that anaconda choke.
So this lady was walking her dog and was surrounded by 4 bears. 1 adult grizzly, male adult grizzly, and 3 like cubs. I didn't think males hung out with the cubs. I thought if they saw a cub, they tried to kill
Usually
it.
that costs extra, Cotton. Let's see
Yeah.
how it works out for him.
Bold strategy, Cotton. Anyways,
As
so
I fold my
her-
leg under my other leg. I don't know how he's doing that the whole time.
her dog chased off a few of the smaller bears, and then the big bear came charging at her. She tried to put a tree in between her and the bear, but
bear.
didn't matter. It grabbed her head in its mouth and said it shook her like a rag doll, and she still survived.
It's wild.
And this is 10 days later, this picture. She does not look bad.
For
This lady is tough as
10 days
nails.
post bear attack.
Yeah.
That's the name
Yeah.
of my new record. Check it out.
Surprise. She looks surprisingly well for. Yeah.
You want to talk about some hardy stock? Whoever her parents are must have been Viking warriors back in the day. Because, jeez, if a bear swiped at me and barely grazed me,
I'd cry.
I'd look worse than that 10 days later.
Oh,
I'd be crying for sure.
Get away from me! Get away!
We just heard the noises you made when you had a fish on the line. I don't even want to know what it'd be when there's a bear coming after you.
No, it'd be bad.
You'd melt into pudding.
I don't know. There's a possibility that I would just run to it and try and hug it. Like, I'm going to go either way. I want to.
Actually,
hug a bear.
I picture you as just like going aggressive and just being like, I'm going out in style.
One way or the other.
Yeah.
It's going to eat me.
You don't know how you're gonna react. I was walking these very small dogs one time, and this pit bull just rolled up on us, dude.
Ooh, that's not a
and
good feeling.
I go, hey! I got big and loud like it was a bear. Hey! The dog got startled. Whoa, dude! Jesus! And then
The pit bull?
Yeah, he walked.
Yeah.
Yeah, he walked away. I said, "That's right. Get some, dude. Don't worry, Stevie. I got this. Don't worry."
Were they your 2 little dogs?
No, I used to walk my neighbor's dog.
Okay. Tarantula warning for 8 states. What to know. So a horde, which I don't like the thought of that, of baseball-sized tarantulas may soon start roaming the southern states.
I was imagining it like falling down like hail from the sky.
Oh, no,
Baseball-sized tarantula.
Listen, I don't mind spiders, but if that happens, I'm never going outside again. If they start falling from the sky,
That's like
hail.
other planets. Dude.
So it is New Mexico, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Colorado, Kansas, Missouri, Texas, and Louisiana, as well as parts of Mexico. This is the time that they go out questing for a mate, and this is like the something brown tarantula, and they are fully in Kansas now.
We're in the year of the tarantula right now. Okay.
Typically, like, yeah, the next 2 to 4 weeks. Usually it's always around dove season. Dove season always starts September 1st.
Right.
That's when you can start seeing tarantulas and like masses.
You
of
know when
tarantulas.
Any of this.
You know when people talk about cicadas and you're just like, who cares about
Right.
that?
Yes.
Replace that with this.
This is a huge
Yeah,
deal.
this
I
is a
don't-
big story.
Yeah, I don't care about cicadas at all.
The shells of bugs I used to see for years. I don't care. I was a child once.
Yes.
Dude. Who gives a a larvae turns into that and then then it's gone and then it's like the Olympics. Who cares? Like once in a while.
Baseball-sized spiders. That's the story.
Baseball-sized
That
spiders.
is the story.
We've talked about in the past getting a flamethrower.
Now we're
This-
talking about it.
This is
Yeah.
the need for the flamethrower.
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
I know.
I deserve a flamethrower. I've been pretty
I
good
deserve a
over a very difficult year for me. I deserve a flamethrower, Austin.
I'm not saying no.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
That's all I need.
good.
We can stop it right there. I got the answer I wanted.
See you guys next week.
I'm
maybe
done.
maybe with a flamethrower.
Oh.
Thanks for checking out the Meatgistics podcast. To shop everything but the meat, head on over to waltons.com. To get your meat processing questions answered by experts and enthusiasts alike, head on over to our online community at meatgistics.com. Waltons, everything but the meat.